Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter.
This video is our early Grey's Anatomy Season 16, Episode 19 preview. This is an episode that I think still has a certain degree of mystery to it because for some inexplicable reason, this episode entitled Love of My Life, there was no promo for it at all tonight.
No, there was not.
I mean, maybe I don't know if that's the case everywhere. You guys could tell us in the comments if you saw one, but for our feed, there was no promo, and
Nope.
We'll try to talk a little bit about what that might mean as we go along in this video, or we're still finding information out. So if you do like this discussion, remember to give us a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Okay, so according to ABC's press site, which we looked at prior to recording, this episode is scheduled to air next week. However, because of what is going on in the real world right now, Grey's shut off production early. I am wondering if ABC is reconsidering and they're going to put this episode on a little bit later, and because they don't know when as of yet, they did not put a promo on tonight.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good guess. I mean, there aren't really that many episodes left here at this point, so maybe they want to stretch it out. Maybe they'll put on a rerun next week. Maybe they're, I don't know. Nobody really knows what's happening right now. Things are just so uncertain in the real world.
You guys know that old phrase, check your local listings, like back when everybody had like the paper TV guides and all that. This is a legit check your local listing sort of situation where just make sure next week, because it might actually be on, and Grey's Anatomy may just be doing some weird stuff at the moment and we can't figure it out. But we'll tell you a little bit about what we know is coming and speculate a little bit about what could be.
Yep.
But here we go. Richard Weber is going to have a big storyline for those of you who want to see what's happening with him and Catherine. Richard is set to present something at a big LA surgical innovation conference. So look at that. Grey's Anatomy gets to actually be in the city where they film for a change.
Yes, and so he's going to end up becoming really distracted by what's going on with Catherine. So we saw in tonight's episode that Catherine has served him with separation papers. So they're not at divorce yet, but they're at separation papers, which is typically where you outline everything that's going to be divided, everybody's debts, everybody's assets, who gets what. He said he was getting his own house, so he's like, and then there's that. So I'm assuming there's going to be some more of that, maybe kind of shaking out at this conference, that even though he's going to be there, trying to be part of this conference, really everything that's going on with his marriage is going to be hitting him. I mean, getting separation papers, it really starts to get very real. So, I mean, I'm sure he's not in a very good place. Not only is he dealing with that, we have seen him having tremors with his hand. He hasn't really talked to too many people about it, really anybody about it. He's not really addressing it. So the guy's got a lot of weight on his shoulders right now.
And I think this is a good time in order to really explore how this is all hitting him emotionally. Because what Catherine did was not nice. I mean, she pretty much shut down a whole hospital to get back at him. And I don't think we've really spoken enough about just how not nice that really is. And
no, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, really terrible. Because it didn't just hurt Richard. It hurt everybody. I mean, some people were able to come over and work here now. But, I mean, I don't know that they were able to absorb that entire staff. So that means there were people out of jobs so that Catherine could get back at him and get him back to the hospital.
I understand fully with that in mind why Richard is distracted. Like, it's really hard to be somewhere where you're supposed to present something and try to be there and put on a good face when you got all these different things sort of running through your brain constantly. And maybe we're going to see Richard just kind of come to terms with where he is and make some big decisions when he comes to his future.
Yep.
Just don't write him out. We've already lost Alex. Don't take Richard Weber away from me too.
I don't think we're going to lose Richard. I think he is definitely on a path of change. There's going to be change for him coming at work, change for him personally as well if this continues down this path, which it seems like everything that happened, Richard is feeling that this is pretty unforgivable, and I gotta say, if I was in Richard's shoes, I would probably be like, nope, this is done. I'm moving forward and goodbye.
And, what's also, I think, good is that you have the Richard stuff, which understandably he's dealing with a lot. You're going to get a little bit of some other characters around here, too, apparently. Maggie and Teddy. They're going to run into some people they know from their past, which it's like, oh, great. Maggie has a storyline that's not involving Jackson. I am so happy about this. It's also not involving, Richard, not involving Catherine. It's just sort of like, great, we actually get to learn a little bit more about Maggie separate from everybody else.
Yeah, it has been a minute since we've had just a really good Maggie story. It's been quite a few episodes since really everything happened with her family member not making it and her getting sued, and it seems like that's all been settled and resolved. But since then, there's been like really a big goose egg where there should be a Maggie story.
Now we get something. Maybe it will evolve into something more. Maybe it will evolve into some other characters being a part of the show for a while. I mean, Teddy's got apparently whoever that person is from her own past being involved in this one way or another. Just please don't let this be somebody who adds to the gigantic, messy, romantic web that's going on here. I'm not saying that Teddy would do anything else or anything like that, but I don't want this to be some guy who was like lusting after Teddy a long time ago.
Yeah, unless it's some sort of a situation of a past relationship that's going to push her forward either in her relationship with Owen or to do something else. So to actually really confront what's going on in herself with Tom and her feelings, so that if she is going to move forward with Owen, she can move forward with a clean slate, a clean mind, a clean conscience, and maybe this person will bring some of that out in her.
I mean, it could very well be possible. I mean, I hope something gives her a little bit of clarity. I mean, I hate saying that word now because it just reminds me of The Bachelor. But, like, I really want something to just give Teddy a sense of what exactly it is that she wants. Because I think she can't be constantly waffling on this forever either, because I have given Owen about flack on this for like 3 years now, and I can't be harsh on Owen and then eventually not be harsh on Teddy if she continues it forever.
Yeah, and it feels like Owen is finally getting himself together a little bit. I mean, it may or may not last, but he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, Owen seems like he is on the road. I mean, with Owen, I am perpetually terrified that eventually he will be indecisive again.
And we just watched Alex on the road for season after season after season of growing into this really great character, to have him go right back down the hole.
Yes, so Grey's Anatomy, they take it and they give it away. They do everything. They just give you all sorts of chaos. Well, the title here, I'm guessing, is a reference to Cormac Hayes, because we're going to learn a lot about in this episode, and it seems to be separate from everything with the conference, but when he met his late wife, if we're going to spend a lot of time on this, then I think it's pretty fair to say that this is not a character who's going anywhere in the near future. This is going to be somebody who's a part of the show. It doesn't mean for sure that he and Meredith will end up together, but we're spending some time here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's about time. We really do need to get to know him. He has been around a little while now, not like a ton of time around, but enough that it's time to start to get to know him and what he's all about. Let's start to either like him or dislike him or whatever they're going to do with him.
This is a good opportunity to do that. I mean, it's hard to really say that much because we don't know enough about like what his late life was like, what they did together, what they enjoyed. But, I mean, a couple of other things that we should just wonder about ourselves that aren't in this synopsis. Are we going to get an update on DeLuca in this episode and what's going on with him?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to.
I hope so. I hope this is not one of these things where they just, like, abandon DeLuca and then we're meant to forget about him for a full week.
Well, the thing is that if most of this is going to be taking place at this conference, is my guess, because we are going to have Richard there, we are going to have Maggie there, we are going to have Teddy there, I don't know who else is going to be there. If that's the case, then we probably won't be seeing a lot of what's going on with DeLuca. And That's really disappointing because after everything that went on tonight, I would like a DeLuca update. So hopefully we're going to get at least a little bit of something. But it does feel like we're going to be getting a lot about this late wife, what's going on there, how that's kind of formed Hayes and all of that.
Maybe we can also get a moment or two of roommates Levi and Joe, which, I'm actually kind of excited about because I think it's going to be a mess and a fun mess.
I think it could be. I think they'll also find a way to lift each other up. And I think they both really need that. So.
Yeah. I think it's a chance for them both to have a little bit of fun, to lean on each other, maybe get closer.
Yep.
We'll see what happens with it. But we'll let you guys know when we have more about Grey's Anatomy Season 16, Episode 19. This is where we are right now. But what do you guys want to see next on the show? Be sure to share in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.